So that certain Aquaman starlet has to be panicked right now because Samantha Spector, the lawyer that represented her in her divorce from JD, yeah, they've been subpoenaed and they know every secret. Samantha Spector knows that this is bad, too. Like, really, really bad. Why? Because that certain Aquaman starlet admitted some of the things that they've done over the years. So Samantha Spector is fighting this thing tooth and nail. Honestly, I don't blame them either, because this is the kind of stuff that not only will get you disbarred, but if you're unlucky, might put you behind them, too. Oh man, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently, and dun indeed, right? Now, if you don't know anything about Samantha Spector, she's the one that created what we're going to refer to as the extortion or the blackmail letter, the one that asked for all of this in a settlement. Range Rover, 3 apartments, $50,000 a month for trips, clothes, etc., exclusive possession of the pets, and paying all the fees as well. Now, the letter that all of this hails from is one nasty piece of work, too. And you really need to understand it in order to understand why Samantha Spector doesn't want to be there, why that certain Aquaman starlet doesn't want them talking, because every claim that certain Aquaman starlet will build on, they come from right here. See, the first part is all about the allegation. Please be advised that our firm has filed a petition of dissolution of marriage on behalf of that certain Aquaman starlet. As you may be aware, your client, JD, we're going to say threatened and physically accosted that certain Aquaman starlet on Saturday night, May 21st, in their penthouse apartment. There are several witnesses to this particular incident, and there are photographs depicting property damage he caused, as well as physical proof. That's what they're saying right there. There is physical proof. Unfortunately, this is not the first incidence of DV perpetrated by JD against that certain Aquaman starlet. In fact, there have been 2 other incidents in the past 6 months. Now, this is where the "will ruin you and publicly if you don't give us what we want" comes in. Although that certain Aquaman starlet is afraid of JD, she strongly insists that we do everything possible to keep this personal matter out of the media spotlight, which is why she has not yet sought a DVRO. By the way, she gives him till May 27, 2016 to respond to this and give her everything she wants. He turns it down and flatly, and guess what? Right after that, the DVRO comes in. She wasn't afraid until she didn't get the money and the apartments and everything else. Then she needed the DVRO, and why we have not arranged for JD to have been publicly served at last night's movie premiere. Now, they give him very few days to respond. They list out their demands, and they say, well, if you'll cooperate, we'll do it behind closed doors. Here's all the judges we could do that with that we know will keep it out of the headlines. And listen to how they end this. This is so insulting. We are indeed hopeful that we can swiftly work out mutually acceptable short and long-term solutions outside of the public eye. Thank you. I look forward to your prompt follow-up and reply. Sincerely, Samantha Spector. Samantha Spector has a problem, though, and a big problem that can follow her into the here and now. Why? Because that certain Aquaman starlet said, you know, all of those claims that were made there, yeah, I didn't have anything to do with that. It was solely Samantha Spector's creation. Huh. You see this text message? This is from Slim. That's the nickname JD gave to that certain Aquaman starlet. This date right here, yeah, that's right after that dropped. Listen to this, and there are a few of these, and they are well worth drinking in. Just confirmed that the cover letter, so she's talking about what we just saw there, is completely private and has nothing to do with any public record. So all of this is still confidential and only included in the DVRO stuff because I called the lawyer when the cops were here and I didn't know what to do or why that happened and was scared, but that letter is private. Now look at this. This is going to hammer down on the you better respond to me. And unless you file as well, which I guess opens us up to the press possibly catching it as they seemingly miss this one, at least right now, then it can be revoked at any time. So, I can take back all of these terrible things I said, even though I'm terrified of you, even though you did all of these horrible things to me. Yeah, I can take it all back. If you file separately as well, so if you were to go in, you were to get your own lawyer, you were to answer me back and file, it's the same thing as far as being revoked is concerned, but requires both of our signatures and is a new filed public doc for the records, ? At least that's my understanding of it. And if you're a vegetarian, well, you better watch out because here comes the meat. Listen to this. Oh, and I confirmed with my lawyer the quickly part etc. So you notice the etc. there. You got to do this really fast, etc. All of the threats therein you mentioned in a letter between our lawyers that's including the deadline for a response from them wasn't something I said. So, hey, I didn't do that there. Ask for, even noticed, and is not mandatory at all. We can take as long or as quick as we want and do this or undo this. So, even though somebody is terrified in this situation, they need to be away from him. They're talking about filing a DVRO. Well, we can do this or we can undo this at any time. Now, there are other issues for Samantha Spector, too. Big ones, in fact, like the allegation she told that certain Aquaman starlet do not talk to the police. Why? Because the Popo, they keep records. They know what did or didn't happen. And yeah, you've seen how that played out and so much more. That's why Samantha Spector filed this protective order. And props to the real Laura B on Twitter for posting this, by the way. Check out her Twitter, but also check out her podcast. Excellent way to catch up on this case and to stay informed. But this protective order, really it serves two purposes. Number one, it keeps her from being deposed. She doesn't want to answer any questions at all. You know what kind of questions are going to come up, and she is a goldmine for information. And probably the second most important, number two in this case, the first being something left on some bed sheets. She, like everyone else attached to that certain Aquaman starlet, doesn't want any of this information going public. She's fighting to keep it confidential and behind closed doors. Oh, time is not on their side, is it? But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. Can't say that enough. Thank you for being here. You want to help the channel out, by the way. There are links in the description. Check those out. We can always use your help, but you being here, that is the biggest help of all. Share, do all of that stuff. You know that drill. And again, thank you. Appreciate you. See you soon.